Let's move on to our final session of the day, and that focuses on participatory planning and community. It's my pleasure to welcome and introduce Maarit Kahila, who is a CEO and co-founder at Mapita, Finland, and you're using a tool for empowering communities in sustainable future. So tell us more about Maptionware.
Sure, thank you. Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity for being here today with you. So as said, I come from Maptionware, and actually the whole company is a spin-off company from the Aalto University. So we are truly working with cities through a digital platform called Maptionware, and we are all the time thinking how the experts in the field of built environment can make their work easier with digital tools. But what is Maptionware? First of all, of course, in the core of Maptionware are these GIS capabilities, mapping possibilities. So how can we capture the information from the people about their living environment so that it also makes sense for the experts and urban planners, transportation planners, whoever are the experts then tackling with these issues and when they need to involve citizens. And we certainly think that people do know their living environment best. And I think that we often kind of don't embrace this information and knowledge people have about their living environment. Certainly you all, for example, live somewhere and you know your neighborhood best. So why not to utilize this information? Still very often community engagement and outreach looks like this. We have a bunch of people in the room and the loud ones usually get to share their thoughts and ideas and so. And what happens with data is that it looks like posted stickers, very often very hard to translate into good quality information and precise information. But if we think then how the future looks like and can we kind of tackle that situation and make the engagement better, certainly we can. And we, for example, have been now already working in this field for 15 years. I have to say that experts value a lot hybrid models. The possibilities for linking together digital tools with face-to-face methods. So we still often very much need to have a chat with the people and meet with them physically in some events and so. But also digital tools are used more often. So it's more about how to couple these different tools together. And there are still challenges for sure, how we can make the reach even better, how we can really broadly involve everyone. That's still a question and very challenging to tackle as people are many and with different kinds of capabilities. So questions are still out there, but at least what we have found is that with digital tools, you get a bigger crowd to be part of the project and hear their voice. And of course, innovative and easy to use tools are needed. And nowadays, I have to say that the situation is totally different compared to the situation when we started, is that experts nowadays have already tested and tried many tools and they know a lot and they also know what they want. So it's more challenging for software developers like us. Well, as said, we have been there already for 15 years and we are very happy to work with cities directly, but also with consultancies, with universities, NGOs, research centers and so. So there's a lot of users using Maptionware, and as it is a SaaS service, it's used very independently. So our users create the projects with Maptionware and they use those tools and capabilities of Maptionware they feel needed for their projects. And this is quite great because all the projects then also look very different. And those projects are already over 15,000 done with Maptionware. And what's also nice is that those are taking place in over 40 countries. And what is also nice is that, of course, like urban planning is very context dependent. So that's also how we have wanted to create Maptioner, is that it's in a way an empty canvas. So urban planners then get to design the tools as needed for their projects. Here you see a little bit of the themes and topics tackled with Maptioner. So the topics are quite many. And what I'm very, of course, happy to see is that we have more and more environmental and green energy related projects where Maptioner is used. But very often Maptioner is used as part of urban planning process. And how it's then used in urban planning process, at the beginning I said already that the core function of Maptioner is that it enables you to gather good quality data. But you can also build easily project pages with the tool, and you can then embed to those pages the questionnaires and so. So engagement is always about sharing information and collecting information. And what is nowadays nice with Maptioner is that you can tackle all the process from the beginning to the very end, and you can in a way close the loop with one tool. And now I thought to show you quickly a couple of examples how the tool has been applied. This one takes us to Tallinn, city of Tallinn, and it's a very nice project which is about creating a pollinator highway through the city center. And in this project they wanted to visualize the plan proposals with Maptioner, and they wanted to walk the participants through the project. They wanted to introduce the idea of the project, and they used nice visualization, and they also made the plans very easy to read. And at the same, they also collected then data from the participants. This example then takes us to the Netherlands, to Den Boer municipality, where it was about sustainable energy questions. It was about where to place windmills and solar panels. And what was nice with this project was really the results. For example, here you see two pair of maps. On the left side you see possible locations for the solar fields, and on the right side you see the inappropriate locations for the solar fields. So you see how precisely people have mapped those possible and inappropriate locations. And also what's interesting is how the results are different. So it will be actually very helpful for the experts to utilize this knowledge. So what's also been interesting to notice is that very often you are able to gather positive and constructive feedback from the people. It's not only about rejecting the upcoming project idea, it's about thinking really how to give an input that means something. And this last project takes us to Helsinki, where Helsinki Regional Transport Authority used Maptioner to collect data, how to make it more motivating for people to use public transportation. And then they built these nice project pages to introduce to the participants, to the audience, the results, and then made it very, very informatively. And well, what I hope, of course, is that when we are building cities, so that we also remember to build cities together with people, with local people, and we also remember to think how we can involve them in a smart way. Thank you, everyone.